In this course, I'll mainly cover topics such as like coloring and rendering, as well as lighting that goes behind making a background. And I'll mostly be focusing on, animation style, backgrounds like you see in anime, animated movies, things like that. And as you can see here, I'll be breaking them down into simple objects and how to render them, as well as looking at professional examples and observing them. And on the left here, I have a chart, and that shows what we'll be covering. So we'll mostly be focusing in the middle zone of this is what I like to refer to as all the significance of things that go behind an artwork, all the elements you say. So first there's a concept or an idea, and then that supports the composition, in which decides the tone slash values, and then from that there's the color, and when after the color comes the lighting, and then perspective, and then finally the detail. So the more you go up, the less, I don't want to say important, but less significant the effect will be. But down here is like what all the important factors lay in, such as like composition, the idea, that's like the whole root of the whole artwork, which decides what's above it. So without a strong idea or concept, then you won't have a strong rest of the features. Meaning if and as well as I'll be covering like lighting and different situations, times of the day, weather, things like that, and then observing how like colors and lightings change and how it impacts the scenery, such as an example you see here. And lastly, I would like to cover helpful websites to use throughout. I like to refer to Pinterest, as it shows you different ways you can create your art, different references, and apart from just simply a Google search, it gives you more like a visually filtered results. And also I like to use Google Street View for location hunting and find references that way from real life photos and scenery. And also just social media and things like that in general is helpful, because you get to see how other people create, and as well as different photos, things like that. Anything that you find that that you like or resonates with you. And also programs, I use Photoshop. But this course can be follow with most softwares, I'm sure. Clip Studio, Procreate, anything like that. Like the fundamentals stay the same. Just maybe a little bit of difference within the software and then the brushes and things like that. But so if you want like the exact same like results and how, because I will be using brushes and things like that, and if you want the exact same behavior, then I would say stick to Photoshop, but the same principles apply to just drawing and art in general, so any software should be fine for your own use, but I will be using Photoshop for this. And Lazy Nezumi Pro, this is what I use for perspective drawing, where it's like a guide or a ruler that fixes your lines as you go and then make sure it's like in line with perspective. You don't have to have this, but it'll make your life way easier if you have it, as you could like set vanishing points. It's basically like a perspective ruler that you find in other softwares like Procreate, Clip Studio, other softwares like that. Usually comes with like a perspective grid and a ruler. And this is more like just like that. It just helps with your lines and making sure it's straight and in line with perspective. So, and I'll be using this, and I wouldn't be doing a too heavy, in-depth guide on that, but it's better to have it. It saves time. It makes drawing way easier, and I'll be using that throughout. And at this time, I'll conclude my orientation, and I hope to see you throughout the rest of the course and follow along.